Hi there, it's Nick Middleton here, Managing Director of Middletons Assured Talent, experts in IT and business change recruitment. We are sharing our contractor interview template, hopefully as a very valuable tool to help you more consistently interview contracts and help you hire the best people. This is a very short video guide on how to best use our template. We hope you find it useful. So the first thing, I would say you need to spend a little bit of time preparing for any interview, and that's not just for contractor interviews, but I think you just need to think before the interview, what's the structure you're going to take, what are the key bits of information you're going to want, and our interview template is going to help you do that. So you're going to see the first two sections here. You've obviously got above that your name, position, candidate location, availability. So they're just more general information you'll collect from the candidate. But these first two sections here, worth spending a few minutes before the interview or before the group of interviews you might be doing for any particular role, and just thinking to yourself, the two key questions for me are what are the kind of key objectives, what are the key deliverables or objectives that this contractor is going to, you want them to deliver for you, and what is the biggest challenge that they need to overcome. So I think before you start the interviews you need to have clearly answered both of these questions. Linking from that, you'll probably ask yourself, what are the skills that we're going to need to the person to demonstrate to feel that they're right for this role. So the structure of this form, it has three main sections following on from that, and this is different ways that you're going to probe the contractor. The beauty of the form is you don't have to use every single one of those sections. You kind of can use it in the way that you want to use it, that best suits the role that you're recruiting for. But the critical thing is, however you decide to use the form, make it consistent across all the interviews for any one particular role. Because if you do that, the scoring you'll be able to create at the end will be consistent scoring. So you'll be able to properly compare different contractors. So the first section of probing is this one here. So you've got a quadrant of 9 boxes. Principally, this is just asking people to provide 3 different examples which relate to the objectives that you believe they need to meet for this role. I suppose that's one point to make. You know, when you start an interview with the contractor, good to have a bit of rapport building, but it's also good to just quite quickly get to the point of explaining what it is that you need from them and what it is you see as the key challenges that they're going to have to overcome. Then you can quite nicely flow into this part of the interview structure where you're asking for them to give specific examples of where they have done something similar, what obstacles they've had to overcome, and ultimately what is the outcome of that particular scenario they've described. And I've given you 3 kind of opportunities to ask for 3 different examples that relate to the objective. So that's the first section. The next part, you'll see, and again, this is something that's worth a little bit of preparation beforehand when you're thinking about what the skills you require of the person. I've left 6 boxes here. So on the left hand side, there's 6 boxes where you can list what are the top 5 or 6 skills that you think someone needs to have to be successful in the role that you have, that you're recruiting for. Now, it might just be 3 skills, it might just be 2 skills. It doesn't have to be that you fill all those boxes out. But again, going back to the original point, the critical thing is that you have a consistent approach against all the people that you're meeting for that particular role. So beforehand you would write out the skills, and then in the interview itself you would just probe around what sort of level of experience they have, what evidence can they provide of where they've been successful in using those skills. And then the other section we've got here, this is probably more something that you might write notes in along the way, but it's probably for more consideration at the end. And these are the more generic attributes that you might be interested in measuring in a candidate. So listening skills, communications, fit with the team, manageability, grit, all different things that you probably have a subjective view on what they look like in a person. Again, that doesn't really matter that it's subjective as long as each person's going through the same process and you're measuring them in the same way. And then I guess there's 2 other final sections. One, just a general gut feel. This might just be, you know, forgetting about the structure of the interview. What's your gut telling you about the person? And then there's a section for additional notes. So then once you've finished the interview, you've gone through each section, you've scored each section, you can create a grand total. And this, the maximum is, presuming you score up to 5 for each section, the maximum would be out of 100. It doesn't really matter how your scoring works, as long as it's consistent across the different people. And then the final thing to note is what we've included here is an interview closing checklist. These are just good questions to make sure that you fully understand about the candidate situation. So what's their, do they fully understand the role? What's their location? How are they going to get to the role? Is there any complications there? What's their availability? Any problems in terms of being able to start when you need them to do? And also just understand what other applications they're currently progressing with. So we hope we find this tool useful. Obviously, contact myself or any of the team at Middletons Assured Talent if we can help you better use it, or if we can help with your recruitment services at any time. Thank you.